It is 22/6 Saturday evening at the back of a very slow and lazy Saturday, in all honesty. Now, in spurts during today, I felt feelings of loneliness at times, which is nothing new, in all honesty. I've had these feelings for quite a while. What was different today, though, is I recognized during those spurts that even though I feel lonely, there are so many people out there that I couldn't even imagine that are feeling the exact same way. And in a funny twist of fate, those lonely folk right across the world are not so lonely because they're connected in their loneliness. Now, we get caught up in feelings of loneliness, in feelings of being alone and being isolated, because we focus right on the here and now. We just see, we're narrow-minded, we have our blinkers on, and we can only see our immediate situation. And rarely do we project that and see the bigger picture and recognize that, yes, even though in your immediate situation you are alone, you aren't entirely isolated in those feelings of loneliness. And although that doesn't cure the loneliness itself, it certainly helped me ease the feelings of loneliness throughout the day. It also occurred to me afterwards that I like to complain about loneliness, but then in that same breath, I'm very picky about who I allow into my life, and I'm very picky about who I interact with, and I tend to leave people hanging. Now, you can't really complain about both, you can't really complain about loneliness if on the other end you're being overly picky and overly considerate of who you deal with and interact with on a day-to-day basis. So I guess what I'm trying to say is two things, right? Firstly, if you're out there and you're feeling lonely, I want to encourage you today. I want to say that you are most definitely not alone. At the very least, you have me in the same boat, and although we don't know each other, I experience those feelings literally every day of my life, right? So, hey stranger. And secondly, I want to point out that your reason for hurt sometimes, well, most of the times, I would go as far as to say, your reason for hurt is down to you, right? Down to decisions you make in other aspects of your life, which directly or indirectly leads to those feelings of hurt. In this example, the feeling of loneliness and the feeling of isolation can be directly attributed to my pickiness and my fussiness, I guess, and you just have to recognize that, I guess, and not complain too hard, because in a certain sense, that is the way you choose to live your life. And if that isn't you, if you can truthfully say that that isn't you, that you aren't being picky whatsoever, and that you are genuinely still feeling lonely, if you can genuinely say that, then I guess this video isn't for you. But my learning from this is that you make decisions in your life, and decisions lead to outcomes, and you can't have it both ways. You can't be picky and then not want the downsides of being picky. I hope that reaches the right person, and I hope that maybe it puts it into context. Anyways, that is it for me. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.